Good evening, Franklin County. I'm Frank, and this is The Drop. Tonight, opposition to Franklin County's license plate cameras appears ready to move from social media into the commissioner's meeting room. But there's an important distinction between what has been announced and what opponents are claiming, and what I've actually already been able to verify. We'll begin there. And later, another county discussion raises an even bigger question as volunteer numbers fall and operating costs rise. Who will be there for Franklin County residents when they call for help? We also have $750,000 coming for 4 local schools for safety and security, students returning to Chambersburg classrooms, several opportunities for local families, and a busy lineup of things to do around the county. Let's get into it. A citizen-organized event called What the Flock is encouraging residents concerned about Franklin County's automatic license plate readers to attend Wednesday evening's County Commissioners meeting. The meeting begins at 6:30 p.m. Wednesday, August 19th, inside Franklin County's Administration Building at 272 North 2nd Street in Chambersburg. The county's official calendar confirms the meeting time and says it will also be live streamed on YouTube. What I have not independently confirmed is that flock cameras are listed as a formal action or a discussion item on the commissioner's agenda. The citizen event says the cameras are on the agenda, but the county meeting notice itself does not establish that. That distinction matters. Residents can still address the commissioners during public comment, and an organized turnout can certainly make flock cameras part of the conversation. But unless the formal agenda confirms it, I would not describe Wednesday's meeting as an official county hearing or a scheduled vote on flock. The cameras automatically photograph license plates and selected vehicle characteristics as vehicles pass. Law enforcement can receive alerts connected to stolen vehicles, wanted individuals, missing people, and certain serious investigations. Franklin County Sheriff Ben Seitz has defended the system as a carefully controlled public safety tool. He has said the local system retains information for 30 days and does not provide facial recognition. Opponents see something much broader, a privately operated network capable of recording the movements of ordinary residents who are not suspected of committing a crime. Their concerns include who can search the information, what agencies can obtain access, how searches are audited, and whether safeguards currently in place could change later. Here's where it stands tonight. The cameras are already operating. Law enforcement says they have produced real results. Opponents are asking whether those results justify recording and retaining information from every vehicle that passes one of these cameras. Both public safety and personal privacy are legitimate concerns. The immediate story is not that the commissioners are definitely voting on the flock Wednesday night. I have found no evidence of that. The story is that residents opposed to the system are organizing and preparing to confront county officials publicly. If the cameras are not formally on the agenda, that may become part of their complaint, that the system capable of monitoring public travel moved forward without enough public awareness or debate. Wednesday's meeting should actually establish how large the opposition actually is, what answers residents receive, and whether commissioners are willing to revisit any part of the program. We'll be watching. Who will answer the call? Earlier, I promised you a second issue that may eventually affect every household in Franklin County. This is it. Municipal, county, and state officials recently joined emergency services representatives and first responders for a Franklin County Council of Governments meeting. A major subject was the future of local fire and emergency medical services. The warning signs are familiar, but putting them together shows the size of the problem. Volunteer numbers continue to decline. Departments are increasingly relying upon paid personnel to maintain coverage, insurance, equipment, apparatus, and everyday operating expenses to continue to climb. And ultimately, Pennsylvania municipalities are responsible for making sure fire and EMS services remain available to their residents. That does not mean Franklin County announced a countywide takeover, a new tax, or an immediate restructuring plan. This was a discussion about a growing problem, not the announcement of a completed solution. But the direction is difficult to ignore. A system built largely around volunteers is gradually requiring more paid personnel, while the price of ambulances, fire engines, insurance, training, and equipment continues moving higher. Those costs do not disappear simply because fewer people volunteer. They eventually return to municipalities, taxpayers, service fees, or some combination of all three. This may not generate an immediate reaction that the flock cameras do, but its long-term effect could be considerably larger. When someone calls 911, the expectation is that trained individuals and working equipment will arrive. The unresolved question is how Franklin County's communities will continue paying for that response as the old volunteer model becomes harder and harder to sustain. No major plan was announced at this meeting, so there's nothing to panic over. But this is exactly the kind of discussion that residents should hear before an emergency forces local officials to make expensive decisions quickly. This deserves continued attention. Changing gears, 4 Franklin County educational institutions will share more than $775,000 in school safety and security funding from the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency. The Waynesboro Area School District receives the largest allocation at $285,080. Greencastle Antrim School District will receive $224,239. The Tuscarora School District will receive $196,110. And the Franklin County Career and Technology Center will receive $70,000. Together, the 4 awards total $775,429. The funding can support improvements to school security as well as mental health services for students and staff. These are grant awards, not evidence of a particular threat at any one of the schools. Each district will determine how its award will be used within the program's requirements. Chambersburg Area School District students will return to class Wednesday morning for the beginning of the 2026-2027 school year. The district is also holding its regular school board meeting tonight at 7 inside the administration building boardroom. That meeting will be streamed on the district's YouTube channel. With students returning, expect school buses, reduced speed zones, and heavier morning traffic throughout the district beginning Wednesday. So give yourself a few additional minutes and watch carefully around the bus stops. Registration is now open for the Boys and Girls Club before and after school programs serving Chambersburg and Shippensburg. The programs focus on academic success, citizenship, and healthy lifestyles, with the club meeting after school through 6 p.m. Fees are based on household income, and the organization says available spaces are filling up quickly. Families can find program and registration information at bgccs.org. Now let's move from the decisions affecting Franklin County to some of the reasons people enjoy living here. Boro Bash 250, scheduled for Saturday evening in Waynesboro after being postponed from its original July date. Main Street Waynesboro's latest event promotion says the celebration begins at 5:30 p.m. The program includes the national anthem and remarks beginning at 6, followed by a reading of the Declaration of Independence at 6:10 approximately. The Midlife Crisis Band is scheduled to perform at 6:30 with a hot dog eating contest at 7:30. Admission is free. The Fort Loudon Carnival opens tonight at the Fort Loudon Community Center and continues through Saturday. Tonight is Luau Night. Visitors are encouraged to wear Hawaiian or beach shirts, and lays are planned for the first 100 people. Hunter Piper performs from 7 to 9 tonight. The carnival includes rides, games, and food with different themes and live entertainment continuing through the week. Fayetteville Church of God is holding a rain or shine yard sale Wednesday, Saturday, August 19th through the 22nd. Hours are 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 5276 Traer Road in Fayetteville. The sale advertises clothing, books, furniture, and household items, along with breakfast sandwiches, hot dogs, soup, and other food. I could go for some Rice Krispie treats. Franklin County has released a short look at the work performed by its mosquito and tick-borne disease program. Staff survey mosquito populations, identify potential breeding areas, and test mosquitoes for West Nile virus. They also collect ticks from public use areas to monitor species and the presence of diseases, including bacteria responsible for Lyme disease. If you see someone dragging material through vegetation or working around stagnant water, it may be part of the surveillance program, not someone who's become hopelessly lost in the woods. Residents can help reduce mosquito breeding by removing standing water from buckets, tires, clogged gutters, flower pots, and other containers around their property. And that's it for the drop tonight, Tuesday, August 18th. We'll keep an eye out on what's happening in and around Franklin County. Be sure to check back with us again tomorrow, and we'll see you again soon. I'm Frank. Have a great evening, Franklin County.